This man is risking his life to hunt for tree fossils that are 20 million years old, from a time long before the first humans appeared. Pieces of petrified wood could unlock mysteries from our past.
Tapi saya juga kurang tahu itu. Kurang tahu. Kurang paham itulah.
But every year, thousands of fossils are turned into furniture, plates, and even ashtrays. Items can sell abroad for up to 4 times what Indonesian miners make in an entire year. So, what kinds of secrets can we learn from these ancient treasures? And why is it so dangerous to dig them up? It takes a perfect combination of rare events for wood to transform this way. First, you need a lack of oxygen to stop decomposition. That can happen when a tree falls into a river or is buried under wet soil. The water swells up the wood, opening its cavities. Then, you need a volcanic eruption so silica from the ash can seep in and fill the spaces. It will start forming crystals, copying the exact texture of the tree, molecule by molecule. Over time, the entire trunk crystallizes into different kinds of solid quartz. It's one of the hardest materials on Earth. Miners can feel it underground with an iron rod.
Gede nih, lebar sini.
Keras. Emang keras. Jadi kalau kita ditusuk itu pakai besi, itu suara itu nyaring bener.
Eli Suhaili dug these mines himself with the help of his coworkers. He's 68 years old, but still goes in barefoot, bringing only a hammer and a crowbar. This mine is about 10 feet deep. It isn't reinforced or secured in any way, and there are no ventilation shafts. Eli finds a few fossils within minutes of digging. He scrapes at the walls to see if there's any wood hidden there.
Kalau longsor itu otomatis kan kita nggak bisa keluar. Kalau lagi dalam.
In 2016, 12 men died when a mine collapsed nearby. Eli has never lost a friend, but he has been injured before.
Yang kecil aja juga kalau dari atas kita ditusuk-tusuk begitu, kalau kita lagi nggak ini, kan kita niban karena itu kaki bisa bengkak lah.
Digging here technically requires a permit, but officials will only issue them if miners have the right kind of equipment. Eli says most can't afford it, so they risk working illegally.
Ada juga kalau kita nggak ini mah. Dan juga kita kalau punya orang aja juga kalau nggak ini mah sama orangnya gitu. Ada khawatir kalau nggak ini mah nggak beres obrolan gitulah.
Today, this is the biggest log they found. It's about 3 times heavier than a piece of wood of the same size.
Ya, siap.
tarik dulu, Pak. Tuh, Pak. Ya. Oh, batik.
Ya capek mah capek Bu. Orang udah tua begini mana nggak capek sih, udah napasnya udah lemes.
They've even dug up pieces weighing up to 4 tons. That's about the weight of a medium-sized truck. They could get $480 for a log that big. But they divide the money, and they have to pay the landowner too. In the end, they're each left with about $60 for a month's work. That's about half the minimum wage in this part of Indonesia. Ultimately, the wood is marked up and sells for a lot more than what miners initially get for it. But Ellie says mining is more stable than other jobs because there's so much petrified wood here.
Ya mau juga, mau sih. Cuma saya itu belum ada yang bisa menanggung jawab saya, Bu.
Wood polishers then transfer these slabs to a workshop. "37-year-old Sukheli has been polishing pieces for almost a decade, turning them into plates, stools, and tables.
Kalau kayu mah nggak keras, kalau ini mah keras. Jadi kalau ini mah fosil mah kan ada motifnya gitu.
Like most gems, petrified wood can only be cut with a diamond-tipped blade.
Kita yang hati-hati gitu kan. Kalau resikonya banyak gini mah. Ada yang ke tangan kepotong gulinda, ada yang mata kita ke petel gulinda, banyak lah. Juga pernah itu kaki saya kena pisau gulinda sampai ini ada lukanya nih.
The fossils in this part of Indonesia come from a kind of tree called sempur. They were alive 20 million years ago when the earth was warmer. As the wood hardened into rock, it turned beige, white, or this black color.
Yang karakternya bagus, gampang diolah, pesanan yang pesan seles gitu, yang mau pesan ukuran berapa gitu, harganya lebih mahal lagi.
It can take up to 3 weeks to make the bigger items, like this table. He can finish smaller ones, like plates, in 2 days. He works with Kirono, a middleman who places custom orders on behalf of international clients, who pay twice as much as local shops. But there's no fixed price. Each piece is valued depending on the color and patterns. They told us they sold this table for about $3,800.
Barang seni dan memang langka, itu kita dianggap ratusan sampai puluhan sampai ratusan lah, Mbak.
But to him, the work is also about building a reputation for his country.
Keawetannya, karena ini produk kita, produk Indonesia, dan di Indonesia itu memang sangat kaya dengan batu fosilnya.
Hati-hati Mas ya.
Halfway across the world in Arizona, this national park holds more petrified wood than anywhere else on Earth. Here, it's much older than in Indonesia, about 200 million years old, from the time dinosaurs still roamed the Earth. Paleontologist William Parker took us on a walk through this forest frozen in time.
These trees give us clues of what lived and grew during various times in Earth's history when, say, CO2 levels are at a high level and there was no polar ice.
By examining the color and thickness of the tree rings, scientists can sometimes figure out what the climate was when the tree grew. They can then use that data to figure out how different weather conditions could affect life as we know it.
Even today, the Earth is changing. It's important for us to understand what makes it in those type of environments.
Taking even a chip of petrified wood from here is illegal. But officials say tourists steal some anyway.
Come on, just go ahead.
I'm clear of Highway 180.
Copy, thank you. 1555.
Though sometimes they send it back.
As much as, we'd like to tell people they'll be cursed if they illegally collect wood, they're really not cursed, except for maybe a guilty conscience. Because what happens is people start sending us back a whole bunch of stuff.
The US government spends about $4 million annually to maintain and preserve the park. But without federal protection, this natural and scientific wonder could disappear.
Trees are a major part of our ecosystem, and we need to understand everything we can about them. And hopefully we can better manage those ecosystems or make changes that'll give them the best chance for success.
In 1941, researchers tried to figure out how much the petrified wood here is worth. They estimated that all the visible pieces in this park would amount to about $200 million when adjusted for inflation. And that doesn't even account for all the trees that are still buried. But the park does not place importance on the monetary value of this wood.
So if we were to collect every single piece of petrified wood on Earth and put it in stores or collections or in people's houses, we lose the scientific context.
All across the US, people can mine on property they own and sell their pieces for thousands of dollars. This furniture store in New York City has petrified wood items ranging anywhere from $500 to $5,000 each. Philip Tuan travels to Indonesia himself to pick out these finds, but he doesn't buy from the people we followed for this story.
Petrified woods are very unique. You can't expect what you're going to get, right? Before the petrified get milled and cut open, sometimes you don't see what's inside there.
Stumps sell for anywhere between $1,400 and $1,800 each. The bigger items, like tables, go for more, ranging in price from about $1,000 to $5,000, depending on the size.
And it's a piece of the heritage of the whole planet. It's just, it's really heavy, solid. It's not going to break down or do anything. It's just always going to be beautiful forever. So that's pretty cool too.
Back in Indonesia, miners like Ellie don't have the privilege of buying these pieces.
Habisnya susah bikinnya. Bikinnya juga mahal. Jadi nggak kebelilah. Dan juga dipakainya kita mana berat untuk kita mah lah nggak sesuai aja pakai piring begitu.
Ellie didn't get past elementary school because he had to start working. He used to be a motorbike taxi driver, but it wasn't enough to sustain his family. So he became a miner, like most other men in this area.
Iya, ngingetin, hati-hati ya Pak, kalau berangkat kerja itu ibu takut khawatir ya, namanya di bawah, takut tutup lagi tanah apa.
They own only a petrified wood tray, a small memento from all of Ellie's years of mining.
Kalau ibu sendiri bapak pengen berhenti kalau ada biayanya makan. Kalau berhenti makan dari mana ibu?